Are you an independent artist wanting to define your brand a little bit better? Do you need help with consistency and figuring out how to show people what you're all about? If that sounds like you, then keep watching, because today I'm sharing 5 branding tips for musicians that will help you improve your overall artist identity. So let's blast off and get started. JM in your universe. Konnichiwa friends, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, helping you become a better indie artist. I make electronic dance pop music and every Wednesday on this channel I'm helping others take their music to level 2. If that sounds good, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If not, you know what? It's Thanksgiving this week here in the US, so I'm just gonna be thankful that you're even watching, because I've seen my videos. Not that great, but sub if you want to. Think about that. All right, friends, so today I'm gonna share 5 tips to help you discover and solidify your artist identity as an independent artist. One of the most rewarding and frustrating things about being an indie artist is figuring out your brand consistency across all platforms in a way that shows people who you are and what you're all about and what you do as soon as they see you for the first time. So here are some tips to help you bring all of that together. Tip number 1, create a concept art picture board. Whether or not you're just starting out, one way to start getting an idea of who you are as an artist or who you want to be, or maybe it's the next step in your artistic evolution, is to create a concept art picture board. It's just for you and you're not giving it to a whole bunch of people. This can be like on Pinterest, or maybe you physically print everything out and cut it all together, or maybe you just copy and paste it into a Word document. However you choose to do it, it doesn't matter. Whatever works best for you. Your goal with this is to go online or find magazines and get pictures of certain things that may demonstrate who you want to be as an artist or how you want to be seen. Screen cap some music videos that have set designs that you like a lot, or take pictures of clothing that your favorite artist is wearing. Cut out pictures of your favorite artists and put them all together, or locations. It could be anything that may help to paint the picture of what you're seeing in your head for you as an artist. Look at your favorite artist's Instagram feed. What about them stands out? Are they casual? Are they curated? Is there a certain outfit on there that you really like? Are they super relaxed? Compile album covers that you like, or certain photos of your favorite artists. Anything that really gravitates to you, and put it all together. This collection, whether you realize it right away or not, probably has some consistencies that you otherwise may not have noticed before. Plus, having it all together will help to show other people that you work with kind of the looks and vibes you might be going for. Write any consistencies down that you may find. Tip number 2, pick a consistent color theme. Color plays a much larger role in marketing and branding than a lot of people think. Colors and tones can translate a whole lot of subtle messages to your audience without you having to outright say a whole lot. For example, the color white can symbolize light and successful beginnings. So if you take a look at Ariana Grande's new album, Positions, you'll notice right away a very clear white colored theme. Not only does this play into the time period concept that she's kind of got going for this album, but it does also indicate that this album is much more lighthearted and the beginning of something new. Whereas if you take a look at her previous album, Thank You Next, it had a much darker color palette, and the music on the album was tonally darker as well. One of my personal motifs is the cherry blossom pink color, so there's a reason most of what I do online is built off of that color palette. If you look at your concept art board that you just made, is there a consistent color that sticks out? Find the color that you gravitate to the most, and this can change project to project. But once you find that color, you can use a site like Coolers to help you find complementary and contrasting colors to help build your palette even further. Then you can use all of these to figure out text colors, album cover colors, all sorts of fun things. Tip number 3, identify a consistent group of emojis. Speaking of Ariana Grande, ever wonder why she always uses the cloud emoji, or now the white heart emoji, whereas before she was using the black heart all the time? This is a small but important detail in brand consistency, and she's not the only artist that does this. So for you, are there any emojis that you use a lot, or ones that might fit the theme of your album artwork? I know that this might seem like a dumb detail to people, but it can actually subtly really reinforce your overall tone and presence online. For example, you'll see me commonly use this group of emojis, and while they are the ones I happen to like the most, it's also entirely purposeful. Plus, if you randomly start using a new one or two. It's great foreshadowing for your fans to your next project. Tip number 4, social media artwork consistency. All right, so this is the obvious part of the video and the part that usually gets people the most, but it actually is not as complicated as you might think. For this one, you have 1 or 2 options depending on your budget. The simple option, if you're having a graphic designer do your album cover, then see if they'll include a social media package as well. This way you can have really consistent banners across Twitter, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook that really feeds off your album artwork and amplifies it. Everything builds off of each other and it all looks really professional. The other option, if you're doing it yourself, is to first make a list of all the various aspect ratios for artwork on social media that you will need and try and convert the album artwork yourself. And no, I don't mean just stick your album cover up there and stretch it till it looks all weird. Work with your album cover. Use the same font and style of text to say out now or now available or coming soon, whatever it is that you want to say. You'll probably have to learn Photoshop a little bit and create just the main pieces that you're gonna need. I personally know how frustrating this is, having had to do it multiple times myself, but think of it this way, it's well worth your time to have this skill if you need it. It's just another tool for you to have at your disposal, even if you only know basic Photoshop, like I barely do. Like for my EP Utopia, all of the artwork on social media, I did myself. I didn't take the photos myself and I didn't do the cover art specifically myself, but the social media banners I did. It's a ton of work, I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I gave myself a month and a half to do it. And if you gotta do it because the budget doesn't allow it, then you gotta do it. Go easy on yourself. Give yourself plenty of time to do this because it is a learning curve. But once you get it all done and you're ready to share it, it's going to help you a ton because everything's gonna look super consistent, it's gonna look really professional, and just overall improve your marketing. And like I said, it's another skill for you to have. So if you want it to work, you can make it work. And tip number 5, set a clothing budget. Whether it's for your new music project's cover art or your Instagram feed, part of the music industry is looking the part. Now, your individual needs will vary genre by genre and person to person depending on what it is you're going for. Even if it's like super relaxed and in your pajamas, or if it's super futuristic and digital. No matter your style, fashion is a part of this industry. So don't buy clothes that you can only wear once and then you have to donate and never see again. That's not eco-friendly and that's not really budget-friendly. But one thing you can do is to allocate specific funds for yourself, whatever you can realistically afford, that is specifically used for dressing the part. This money specifically is for finding new outfits every so often so you can keep things updated. Whether that's yearly or quarterly or monthly, whatever it is you can realistically afford, go easy on yourself. No pressure. Just make sure you can make it last and get the most out of your money and investment, because this is an investment. Look for discount shops online. Shop during sales. When you do a photo shoot, make sure you go the whole day doing the photo shoot and then you have tons of pictures to use for a long period of time. This one little aspect will keep things fresh for you and your audience, but it will also enhance your overall brand as well, because the more you're able to do it, the more people will get a feel as to who you are and what your style is and what your vibe is. So get some concept art, pick a consistent color scheme and group of emojis, keep that artwork as consistent as possible, and occasionally update your wardrobe when you can. Then, before you know it, your artist identity will reveal itself as you begin to transform into who you were always meant to be. So those are some tips on branding for independent artists. Question of the video, how would you describe your current artist identity right now? Leave me a comment below letting me know. If you want to check out my video on how to find your niche in music, I've left a link in the description so you can check that out as well. And if you like me and you like what I do, consider joining me on Patreon like Steen here and all these wonderful people for all sorts of fun rewards, including access to my YouTube calendar to see what's coming to the channel. If you're here in the US, I hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving. Even though it's a little crazy this year, I still hope it's good for you. Anyway, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new. I put out new videos every single Wednesday. Once again, I'm Jonathan Miller, and I will see you next time. See you later.
I am a machine, not a robot, not operation electronically. My messages are magnetic vibrations, once a pioneer.